let it just slip away, at least for 75 minutes. Deep breath in, inhale, hold it at the top. Exhale through your mouth. Come to tabletop. We will move through cat-cow, arch your back, look up to the ceiling for cow pose, and round your back, cat pose. Flow with your breath at your own pace. Just get your body moving. You may look from side to side at your heels to get some lateral movement in your spine. Roll out your hips.
Hi, Zoomies. We're in tabletop, moving through some cat-cow. Maybe rolling out your hips a bit here. Down dog. You might pedal out your feet. This might be your first down dog of the day. It might be your 30th. I don't know what you've been doing today, but just send your hips towards the sky above you. Send your chest to your thighs. Again, drop your head here, let it hang. Walk feet to meet hands, maybe in the middle of your mat, ragdoll. We're still letting our head hang loose here. Just drop your thoughts, sway from side to side, and slowly rise up to stand. Reach up overhead, take a big body stretch, and bring hands to heart center. Start the class with one Om. That is the sound of Ah, O, Deep breath in. Ah.
Keep breathing.
Reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. I'm Danielle. Plank. 5 push-ups. Get them. Push-ups can move slow. Push-ups can move fast. Push-ups can be with your knees down or your knees up, with your elbows out or elbows in. Drop to your belly. What's up, you guys? How you doing? You didn't like Rihanna as the start of the class? You did? It didn't like seem like nobody was like bouncing their bum. Up dog, big breath in. Downward facing dog, big breath out. Gaze to the top. Hop to the top. Hop back. Do that with a little more finesse. Hop to the top, hop back, hop forward, hop back, like Rihanna would. Hop forward, hop back, hop forward, hop back. For 3, for 2, hop to the top, halfway up, inhale, fold, exhale. Reach up, big breath in, thunderbolt, squat down. Inhale, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, chaturanga, like a push-up. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. One finesse Rihanna style hop to the top. Halfway lift, fold in. Reach up, will ya? Thunderbolt. Breathe in. Forward fold. Halfway up. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. 1 foot forward, warrior 1. Big breath in. Chaturanga, breathe it out. Up dog. Down dog. Other foot, warrior 1. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Gaze forward. You know what to do. Halfway lift. Fold it in. Thunderbolt from here. Diver's pose. Get on your tiptoes. Arms reach back. Bring the whole toes a little lower. Breathe in. Grab the floor, chaturanga, jump right back. Upward facing, downward facing. 1 foot to the top, warrior. Uno. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Other side, 1 more. Warrior 1, rise up with your inhale. Drop with your exhale. Rise with your inhale. Push with your exhale. Woo-hoo. Shake out your head. Shake out whatever's in your head. Plank. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your knee between your arms. Tap your toes back where they were. Bring your knee to your opposite elbow. Tap your toes back where they were. Other leg, knee between arms. Tap your toes back. Knee to opposite arm, toes back. Other leg between the arms, back. To the elbow, back. Other leg, arms, back. Elbow, back. You get it. Go. Go. Your pace. Work, 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 work. Yep. Go, 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 go. 5. Bump up, bump up, bump up. 3, 2. Bring your feet together to the street side plank. Something that you never be. Ooh, I don't know. Can you guys hear the music at home? Yeah, you can. Pick your hips up to the sky. Open up both eyes. Crescent lunge. Let's go. Rise up. Beg you something, please. Grab your knee, hug it. Step back. Grab your knee, hug it. Step back. Get a couple more. You can add a knee tap in the back if you want. Yeah, try it, baby. Thanks for the inspiration. Thunderbolt. One breath in. Crow. Place your hands. Tiptoes. Glue your knees to your arms. 5, nice. 4, nice. 3, 2, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Plank. Wide feet. You know the deal. To the middle and across. To the middle and across. Go 10. To the middle and across. To the middle and across. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Side plank over here. Come on. Lift up, look up. Open your eyes as a metaphor for opening them to the things in your life you haven't been really wanting to open your eyes to. Like maybe the things you've been putting on the back burner, maybe the things you haven't wanted to admit. Open your eyes in here. It's safe as practice for out there. Plank, 1 foot forward, crescent. Woohoo! Need a chest. Okay, couple of those. We're gonna slow it down in a sec. Yes. Yes. Woo! Four, 3, 2, thunderbolts. I don't want to be alone. What do you personally think? Would you make it to, listen, don't go yet. Would you make it to crow smoothlier? Smoothlier from thunderbolt or diver? Okay, think in your mind, where would it be smoother to move from? Choose that pose. There's no right answer. There's no right answer. 3, 2, crow. Hit it. Yes. Yes. 1 toe off the ground, baby. There ain't nothing. 5. You're amazing. 4. Especially when you fall over. 3. And even more so when you get back up. 2. Boat pose, have a seat. Nice, Jess. Nice, Merlinda. Nice, Rachel. Grab your big toes. I want you to take your peace fingers and hook them around your big toes and lock it. And then pull, guide your feet up to the sky. Good. Now, what usually happens in boat is your upper back rounds out. I want you to do the opposite. Puff up your chest like a proud penguin. You wish we were penguins about now, huh? I don't want to be low boat, bring it down. Adjust accordingly for space with each other. Take your legs up, arms up too. Climb the rope, one hand at a time. Climb, climb, climb. 4, 3. Rihanna, I needed like 3 more seconds. 2, 1, rest. Now how you doing? Sweaty? Tell your tell your neighbor how you're doing. You can type in the chat if you want to. Use your mouth it to me. Maybe I could read your lips. Could you imagine? What is this? Kayla, you're sideways. I love it. You're sideways with the most beautiful sunset. Kayla's doing good. Let's spotlight your sunset. I love it. Bridge pose. Put your feet down. Lift your hips to the sky. Walk your heels in so they're closer to your body. Press your shoulders into the earth so your upper spine pops off the ground too. Lift one leg. It's often helpful to put the bottom foot in the middle. Yeah, did that help? Bring your top leg halfway down, only halfway. So your thigh bones are parallel. Woo! 3, 2. Replace your foot to the ground. Keep your hips up. Other leg in the sky. You got this. Use your shoulders to push. Yes. Yes. Well, every time you push into the earth, every time you dig a little deeper, you rise a little higher. Physically, metaphorically, spiritually, emotionally. Every time you dig a little deeper, you rise a little higher. Bring it parallel. We got it. 10, 9, yes, 8, 7, okay, 5, 4, 3, yes, Rachel, 2, 1, windshield wipers. Kick your feet up, make your yogi toe lock. That's your peace fingers, big toes. See if you can catch yourself in both. Go. Hey-ya! Yes. Forearm plank. Just flip over. Elbows down. So good. So good. Close your eyes for a sec. Closing your eyes not as a method for running away or checking out, but the opposite. Close your eyes to check in. Feel your 2 arms on the floor. Feel your feet, feel your toes grip the mat. Feel the way your core muscles hug around your body to hold you where you are right now. 7. Yes. 3, 2. Walk your feet in, dolphin. So it's like down dog, just on your elbows. Bring your right leg to the sky. Now it might work, it might not work. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Step your foot outside your elbow. Get up on your hands and then up in the sky, lunge. You might have to jiggle your foot to the middle. You might like it out to the side, I don't know. Arms in the sky, both arms. Yeah, both arms. It's kind of weird when the foot's all the way out there, isn't it? It's good. It's nice, maybe. Warrior 2. Good. Yeah, maybe the foot's still out to the side. Maybe you jiggled it to the middle. I don't know. Neither way is the right way, you know. This pose is a little older, but a lot of the poses have been made up over the last like 5 minutes. Yeah, like in the scheme of life. This one's a little more traditional though, but it's still up for exploration, curiosity. Take your front toes and put them they're probably on like 12 o'clock or 1 or 11. Try a new hour on the clock face and see how it feels. A new hour on the clock face, see how it feels. See if maybe you could bend your knee a little deeper or not as much. Maybe it gives you more power in the back leg or less. 2 straight legs. Put the front toes back on 12. Reach forward toward your front toes. Listen to my words. Scoot your front foot back some toward your back foot. Half moon. Grab the floor. Kick your back foot up. There it is. You got it. You got it. Yes. Watch out for your neighbors, will you? Remember that thing we did where you grabbed your knee? So guide yourself upward like you were coming from lunge. Pull your knee up and in. Catch that puppy right in front of you. Perfect. And then you know yogi toe lock? Hook your big toe with your peace fingers. Now you could try it as it is, or straight out in front of you, or out to the side. Bent or straight, up to you. Hold on to the wall or your neighbor, the door or the couch or your dog. What is that behind you? A surfboard? A paddleboard? A stand-up paddleboard. Grab that, why not? Thunderbolt! Hands to heart. Big breath in. To the street twist. Notice where your leg bones connect into your body. Notice, so we stay where you are, but you twisted to the street, right? So notice if your butt checked back to the door. If it checked away from where you twisted, pull your hips back to center. Come up to the middle. Mountain pose, shake it out. Open up your feet a little. Toes turned out a little. Yogi squat. Another thing, I'm not totally sure if it'll work out, but we'll try it. So you want your arms to be pretty close to the front of your mat. And put your elbows down on the ground. Try it from here. Elbows on the ground. What? See what I mean about poses being made up 5 minutes ago? On your elbows, try. I love you guys at home. I see you like working it. to hop back to forearm plank. Whoa! Dang, you guys, that was impressive. Dolphin, walk your toes in. Remember, just like before, it's down dog, just on your elbows. Left foot to the sky. It's good. The deeper you dig with your elbows into the mat, the higher your foot goes. The deeper you dig down, the further down the roots go, the higher that little plant baby grows. Okay, step outside your elbow. Yes, yes. Climb up until you can get to high lunge. Yes. Warrior two. Play with a new hour for your front foot. Go an hour to the counterclockwise or an hour or two clockwise. There's something new for your body. Yeah. You might have like a wild revelation, like, holy crap, I've been putting my toes there every day for the last 5 years. And now I just discovered that if I go half an hour to the clockwise, I'm so much more powerful in this pose. Nice. The thing that happens with Zoom is usually I can't see feet. I can see Kayla's if I go like this. Okay, toes on 12. Straighten your legs. Reach all the way forward, but then scoot your front foot back, 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 back. Half moon. Remember your path. It's like that lunge, knee to chest thing. So you're coming up slow. Bring your knee with you as you go. Drag it up and in. Yogi toe lock. Bent or straight. Forward or out to the side. Breathe in. Thunderbolt, exhale. Yeah, hands at your heart, breathe in. Twist to the back door, exhale. And notice if your hips check the opposite way that you turn. Right, so if they're checking right now toward Korean drive, you wanna pull them back in. So your tailbone points straight back. And you'll probably feel, once you check your hips back to center, a little more of that traction that you're looking for. And then try on like sitting your butt a little lower, pick your chest up a little higher. Wow, yes. Come up to middle. One quick thunderbolt. Go. Mountain, shake it off. Ay. Nothing for me? Sorry. What next? What next, zoomies? What happens next? All right, in the middle of your mat, come down to hero's pose. Sit on your knees. Tuck your toes under, nice toe stretch. Stand up on your knees. Zoomies, you don't have to turn. This is just because of space issues. Turn toward the back door. Just the same pose, just turn your whole body. Your feet point back to Korean Drive, and then your whole body points this way, like this. Stick one foot out to the side. Then your other hand is gonna go to the ground. Now, you know how half moon went? Do like that, half moon, but on your knee. Except kick back and grab your ankle. Now, if your ankle doesn't seem to come close enough to your hand, get your towel and make a bridge. Good, zoomies. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Turn your whole body to face the sky. This is another one of those, I don't know if it's possible, but we're going to turn this into something that looks like a flip dog. So put your foot behind you on the ground. Yep, let the bottom foot just travel. So you end up on your knee with your hips toward the sky like flip dog. Reach back. Stretch it, stretch it. And if you want to pop onto your foot and really make it flip dog, you can. Pop it up. Yeah, nice. Slick. And then somehow fold yourself back in like origami. So you get back down to your knees facing who knows where. Then we'll face the other side. To the street side. Zoomies, you face wherever you want. Stand up on your knees. Kick out a new foot. Other hand to the ground. Make your knee bearing half moon. Grab your foot when it's time. You could even like look behind you real quick with the corners of your eyes and see where can my foot go, and then land it, and then turn it inside out, upside down. So you have flip dog on your knee first, and then pop up if you want to full flip dog. Oy. Origami fold. Fold, fold, sit on your knees. Woo. And let it land. Put your palms face down on your knees or fingers on the ground. Both of those are grounding mudras. Mudras, yoga in your hands. So let it pull you back down to earth. Okay. 2 minutes to call your own. We've done a lot of stuff, a lot of interesting stuff. So you can repeat anything. If anything didn't make sense, this will be a good time to ask me about it. Don't go home like she didn't explain that. Well, tell me if you need me to explain it further. That's what I'm here for. So anything you want to do right now, you're closing up your power practice. Okay, so you get 2 minutes. You're gonna close up your power practice. Anything you wanna work on. If there's something you saw on Instagram, you want help from Emmy and I, let us know. We got you. What do you wanna work on? The only thing I don't want you to do is nothing. So do something. Do something. 2 minutes. This song is called Don't Stop Moving. So that's the mantra. If you're not sure, just peek around. Find something happening nearby that seems like it would be fun to mimic. Yes. What can we support you with? Let us know. Is it crow? Is it a handstand? Yes. You could hold plank the entire time.
What would you recommend?
Really tight? Well, we're gonna go into stretchy time in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So give a little bit like halfway through, and if you're like, okay, I still don't get what I want, let me know, and I'll give you more. Okay? Can stop you. Are you videoing? Don't stop moving. Keep it up. Let's see what's happening out there. Ooh, face yoga. Okay, we'll do it. Ten. To yourself. I will. I can do anything. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Pick any pose that feels like rest. Whatever it is for you, really good work. On your way there, give your neighbor a high five or a fist bump, a wink or a something. Good job, Zoomies. Double high fives. All right. So anything goes for rest. Zoomies, if you can change the situation at all to change the energy, like open a window, turn out the lights, open a door, change the music, like whatever's possible for you. You get a little essential oils and rub it around, bring some freshness. Wherever you are, big Big breath in, breathe it out. Breathe it in, clear it out. Woo. Tabletop. Come to your hands and knees. Open up your hands pretty wide, as wide as the mat or more even. And stick one leg straight back. Careful of your friends behind you. Dip your chest down between your hands and send your leg to the sky at the same time. This is called sunbird. So imagine a little bird like dipping into the bowl of water, you know? And then push back up. It's going to take something. And swing your knee between your arms, pigeon. Speaking of birds. If you don't like pigeon on your back, for many millions of reasons, on your front, you can get onto your back. You take ankle over thigh. You can also do seated variation. You sit upright, cross ankle over thigh. Bless you. Now, if you wanted to add some shoulders or like a twist type action, you can do kind of like you do chair twist. You do hands at heart. You cross your elbow over your front knee. Right? You cross over just like you do for chair twist. Same kind of concept. You could also do like thread the needle, where you just take one arm, you make a little window for it, and you thread underneath, right? And then you're resting kind of like on the outer upper arm. So those are two ways. You could also like sit up a bit and reach up. You could reach back for your leg, your foot in the back. So all different ways to add shoulders. If you want to get out of pigeon and do some shoulders by themselves, you could come to tabletop and take thread the needle without pigeon legs. Tabletop from wherever you are. We're back at Sunbird, so hands wide. Kick one foot back. Dip your chest down between your hands. Kick your leg up toward the sky. Push back up. Swing your knee into place. Pigeon. Swing around onto your back if you'd rather. Also pigeon. We are brothers nothing. Add shoulders if you want. Looking for somebody. Weird, like that. Yeah, I'll just ignore. I'll just avoid it. Come to a seat. Stretch both legs out straight. Put your elbows on the ground behind you. Keep your chin up. Normally I'd say drop it back, right? Like fish, but keep your chin to chest. Point your toes. Totally normal to get a cramp with that. Totally normal. If you do, just shake out your feet. Could be a couple things. You might need electrolytes, you might need more water. Could also just be that you don't do this position often, you know? The muscles are like, what? Flex them. Lift them up off the ground. It's gonna feel like core work, should feel like core work. Feet together, butterfly. Okay, keep it like that. Pick up your chest, like squeeze your shoulder blades together, drop your head back now. Keep your feet at a hover. Keep them. Keep them. Chest up, shoulder blades squeeze, head back. Okay, don't do anything else, just drop your feet. Should feel really relieving. Chin up first. Push up onto your hands. Keep your butterfly legs. Actually scoot your butt back a little so the diamond gets a little bigger. And then imagine you're gonna lay your heart right into your feet. Come up. So options, we're gonna do a little face yoga. So you can sit crisscross, you can sit on your knees, or the next thing we're gonna do for hips is cow's face. So if you wanna get that started early, you can cross knee over knee right now. So you're gonna be there for a little while though, if you do wanna do that, okay? So any seat will do. Cow's face if you want to start it early and be there longer. Now, wherever you are, sit up real tall. Okay. Tilt. So you have to stay up tall and you're not tossing your head back like we did for fish just now. It's a little different. So stay up tall, top of the head toward the sky, then tilt your chin up. And then take your lower jaw. The bone is very mobile, and move your jaw out from under. So give yourself like an underbite. So you should feel the pull of the muscles under your chin. Then release the jaw. Bring your head back to neutral. Take your fingers and put them just above your collarbones. So it's gonna feel kind of weird. You don't have to push in the collarbone or anything, just plant them there. Now do chin again. Ooh. And this time do like, how do I say it? Clench your teeth, that'll work. Clench them. And you'll feel the tug of your throat muscles, your neck muscles on the front. You're holding them down with your fingers, pulling them up by clenching. Then release that. Do a little chin to chest to release those. Then make an O with your mouth. Move the O over to one side. So essentially pulling your cheek across your face, the same way you'd pull like your arm across your back, you know? O to the other side. And then O in the middle and pull down so you feel a stretch across the upper lip and into your nostrils and even the muscles behind your nose. And release that. And you need your fingers help for this. So take your fingers to the innermost bottom part of your eyebrow. And imagine you're drawing. Those of you who like pencil in your brows will know what I'm talking about. But so imagine you're drawing with the arch of your brow. I think anyone could figure that out though, right? So push in a little bit of pressure and then draw, like push up the brows. So you're using your fingers to stretch the upper eye muscles. Woo! And you finish at the temples, give a little swirl. And then go into like, okay, do this. Put your fingers like right where that, you know, that weird part of skin that pops out at the inner ear. Anybody know what that's called? People get it pierced. Anyway, that little piece of skin. Put your fingers there, but right in front of it. And then put your thumbs there. So you know where that is. Put your thumbs. Use the rest of your fingers to draw like an arc around. And it might be your hairline and it might not be, but you have a little arc around your, like it is my hairline. So like right here, right? Have a little arc and then push back. Push straight back, push straight back, push straight back. And you can drag your fingers if you want into your hair, your scalp. And then let it go. Okay? So now, face done. You could shake it around, move it around, whatever you gotta do. So if you were doing cow's face that whole time, then you'll do the other side for the whole time everyone else does the two sides. Okay, so you switch legs now if you did cow's face the whole time. If you didn't do cow's face, cross one leg on top now. I'll give you a halfway point. Those of you who are on the second side now, you'll know you're done when we've done the two sides for everyone else. Okay, make sense? Yes or no? All right, good. Good, so cow's face leg. So it's like you took two shoelaces and crossed them over each other. Knee over knee. And then your feet stick out to the sides with the soles of your feet pointing back, okay? So zoomies, my arms are like, imagine those are my legs, okay? You could lean forward. You could go back on your elbows. You could just sit upright. And wherever you are, big breath in. Clear it. If you're on the second side, you're staying. If you have another side to do, still cross, sit over, switch. So look for where you can soften your shoulders, your jaw, your eyebrows and your scalp, your hands maybe can soften. Look for where you can soften and let the internal waters flow unobstructed from head, through shoulders, through belly, through legs. Just imagine the internal waters, like the crisscross of your legs is no block for them. There's no block. There are no rocks. The water just flows unobstructed. Come on to your back. Put either a block or your hands, palms face down under your hips. Go legs straight up to the sky. You could also, if you have a wall, you could go legs up the wall too. Do whatever you can to be able to do this without a lot of effort. Waterfall. Recline twist. Drop your knees off to one side. Mince. Switch. Shavasana. You don't have to lay on your back. You can rest literally in any pose you want, as long as it feels like rest. Breathe in, hold, and let it go.
In the end, these bones are only bones. All of them. It's how much we gave, how much we loved. This is Johnny Son Music. It's the Rabbit.
Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take your time coming up to a seat. Rub your hands together. Rub 'em, rub 'em, rub 'em. One on each lung. Sit up real tall. Let's take one home. It's okay. Big breath in. Ah. May every breath, every pose, every step, every transition, every laugh, every drop of sweat, every tear on the mat tonight, may it all create this magical opening for you, for your life force to move through you from head to fingers to toes, and for it to be seen and felt. Because the people around you, they need it. Know that you are needed. You are amazing. Together we say, Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Zoomies. Sorry.
Thank you, Danielle.
I'm getting the spot next to the queen today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Danielle.
I appreciate it. Cleaning the floor for me.
I'm sorry. So that's just
I love the Rihanna.
no, it's not like a wristwatch. Some of the songs I was like, I feel like these vibes makes my heart flutter. Yeah. Sorry, I'm giving you your. Sorry. You're good. Last little bit. Bye. Bye.
That was fun. What a blast. Good times. Text me what you learned, Demi. Night, night. Hello.
It's good, yeah.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Just passive.
I love your top.
Thank you. No, wait a minute.
Yeah. Honduras. Oh, yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Well, that was a blast. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Hey Nicole. Oh Jess, you look like a different human, boo. Put on a hat, put on some sunnies. Hey Nikita. Hey Nera. Did you get your membership figured out?
Oh, yeah. Actually, no, it just did its thing.
Oh,
I was like,
Alright.
"Oh,
Now, okay, yeah, my body's weird sometimes.
it is weird. Like, sometimes I'll let you book and then I'll be like, oh, how was the day?
Yeah, this happens all the time. Especially anyone who has like a recurring payment. If you're,
Show up or?
yeah, just show
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah.
Yeah, I was at work and I was driving. Not really.
How was class?
Sweaty.
Riri. That was so funny with Rihanna.
That was for it.
Yeah. It was Emmy's fault. Well, it was my fault, I guess. What? Emmy's fault, really, for bringing it up because it was still playing in the background. I didn't realize until you all got quiet, and then she said that. If you weren't here, we had a Riri kind of night. What'd you learn? Face yoga? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just did something really simple. I mean, all of you, there's like face yoga trainings and all kinds of cool stuff. I follow this woman, I forgot her name, but I've watched like a couple of her videos and stuff. Her name's like Yukiko Tomato or something. You know her? Yeah. So she has like trainings and videos and cool stuff. You can actually get certified in it. And apparently the people who get certified in it make a lot of money with it. I don't know. So you could become a specialist at that.
Like face movement.
Like, yeah, just doing.
Just really, like, she's like 60 years old and doesn't.
I know.
look like it. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Touching people's faces or just telling them what to do?
Just telling them what to do.
Okay. I saw her Shark Tank too.
Yeah.
I was watching her before Shark Tank, but I saw her on there.
Yeah.
She was on there?
Yeah, she was on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
My husband and I were like, who in the world is gonna buy face yoga?
Well,
Do
so
well.
I know. Well, if the testimonials are good enough, people will buy it, you know? And there's not like that much, there's not so much of it out there that it's so saturated. So I think like if you wanted to be good at that, you could go through the training. Anyway, so tonight we just did something really simple. We did, the reason I did it too is because somebody in the chat asked for 5 minutes of face yoga. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And yoga is just what people mean when they say yoga is what? Stretching. Exactly. So I'm like, all right, we're just going to stretch out the face. I don't know how to do face yoga, but I'm like, all right, we're just going to stretch out the face. And then whatever I did with her. But with Yukiko or whatever. I just kind of pulled that to mind, but so we did the chin muscle stretch.
I like that one.
Move the lower jaw up, right? And then we did this one where you hold the bottoms of the muscles and then pull up. That one's so good too. Basically muscles need to be pulled from both ends. They're like rubber bands, right? So when you want something to like really stretch, it's like with hamstrings, when you bend forward, you're pulling the hamstrings from the top, like one end of the rubber band, and then when you flex your foot, you're pulling it from the bottom. So the stretch intensifies. Not that it can't stretch if you just pull one end, but it's always better if you pull both. So think of it that way. So that's what we're doing here when you hold them down here and then you pull up there. Okay, so that was all like front of the neck and under the chin, and then we did that one, and then
That one made
you.
me glad I was facing the wall because it felt really. Like...
It's weird, right? I know, and I was doing it right into the camera. So you move you make an O, and then you move it over to one side, and then you move it over to the other, essentially like pulling the muscles across your face, right? Yeah. 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 That's the same thing I said about the feet, you know? Same exact thing. Could be cramps are a couple different things. A lot of times they're electrolytes. You need more electrolytes in your life. Which also could be straight up potassium, bananas, other potassium filled fruits like coconuts too. But it also could just be that the muscle's like, wait a second, what? Because you don't do that action a lot. So sometimes one or the other, but yeah, everyone on here is like, So yeah, the O, and then you pull the O down. So O, you look like a who.
Pretty good, you're pretty good at it.
I have TMJ real bad, so I'm always.
Do you stretch your face a lot?
I'm always doing.
Yeah. So you should do the certification and then come
always doing these weird things.
start making lots of monies. Okay, so yeah, the face yoga was good. What else? Oh, we also did the eyebrow thing. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that feels good.
It's also nice to pinch. You just pinch your brows little by little.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Jess said that was amazing. Oh yeah. So just like pulling the. I always get so weird about talking about hairline because everybody's hairline's different, and if people are sensitive about their hairline, and then if there's like bald people in the room, and I'm just like, oh my god, I said hairline, and my brain fries, but it's really not the biggest deal. But so basically, I just wanted you to put your thumbs by that little thing, and then like pull back, right? So I was saying like use your fingers, to like like what we do in Shavasana. Yeah. What else?
A lot of stuff that you were like, not sure if it's gonna work, but let's try it.
Yeah.
Foot dog.
On your knee.
Yeah, from your knee.
Not sure if it's gonna work, but let's try it. That's all second chakra stuff, like being willing to like be creative and be non-binary, we say, like might work, might not, like somewhere on the scale of like the gray scale, not like a black and white, like lift one leg, flip your dog, come back around, side plank, like that's so just like whatever. This is more like let's play, let's be creative, let's be in exploration, you know.
I did. Down, leg up.
Oh yeah, sunbird.
The visualization of the bird drinking water.
Yeah, sunbird. So we did, those of you who weren't there, we did a sunbird, which is from tabletop. You do hands really wide so you can dip your chest down, one leg back, chest to the ground, foot to the sky. So this is like their little tail goes up, you know. And you might put your chin down, you might put your forehead down, you might put your chest down. Everybody's done that. Push back up. And then I love the swing to pigeon for some reason.
I
It
was
just
just about to bring that up and thread the needle. Yeah, doing that. I thought that was.
Yeah, we talked about a couple different ways to do shoulders in pigeon. So assuming they're in face down. So when you're on your back, there's not that many variations. You can have them like straighten the one leg that's not crossed over, you know. If they have the wall, you can do like arms over your head, but really for on your back, because like you're using your arms to hold your legs and just kind of is what it is. But when you're this way, there's a lot of options. So one was thread the needle, which works with either arm. And people will generally choose like whichever one they think they'll have the space to do, you know, because like your knees kind of here in the way. But I actually like going that way better. So either way works. What else did we say? The twist, like doing chair twist. This guy, so intense. Yeah.
Can you do king pigeon?
Wait, can I personally do it?
Yeah,
Oh.
I've only seen it in a book.
Like this way? No, I can't do it that
How do
way.
you practice to get into that? Like
A strap.
Margarita was doing it. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Margarita.
She was right next to me.
Just renaming every pose Margarita. So the steps are like getting up here first. This is like step one.
I can do that.
And then your foot up.
But
That's the next step.
like, oh, you just ran a half marathon. What you doing?
I was gonna.
What you doing? I feel like my whole body wants to go forward. Like I can't. It won't bend. You know what I mean? Because now I can bend, but it's like.
Oh, I see what you're
You know what I
saying.
mean?
I
There's
usually
something
have
too
to
tight.
adjust this foot around a little bit.
Okay, I'll play with that this week.
You can put the block under too.
Oh, okay.
That might feel better. Yeah, so try that. But yeah, so the first step is being able to just get up here. Second step is being able to get your foot up. And you might have the strap like here, you know,
Okay.
and you're trying to hold this foot in place. Then the next step would be try foot to elbow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then maybe one arm up. Maybe these. This is usually how we end up teaching King Pigeon because 99% of people, typical everyday people, cannot even come close to the other one, including me. I've been doing yoga for 1,000,000 years and
I
I'm
mean, this looks
no,
pretty good.
you know. So like dancers, gymnasts and stuff, but like I wouldn't even teach it. I'll do this one. Try to put your foot to your elbow crease. Try to put your arm up. Try to catch your hands. A lot of people can do it. Or, you know, some part of this one. Okay. So I've heard that called other things that aren't King Pigeon because the full one is King, but I just call that King Pigeon and call it a day.
It's like steps to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could do, you know how we do the dancer strap?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about when I say that? Mm-mm. So when you are in dancer's pose, let's just pretend I'm in it on my, oh, that's not gonna work. I thought I was gonna do it on my knee, but it's worse, it's harder. So you put the strap around your foot and then, you know, and then walk your hands down. Same thing you would do in pigeon. Put the strap around and then walk that way. I think if this is just what my like intuition and brain is telling me, that if you can't do a full split, King Pigeon's like even further than you think.
Okay, so split first.
Yeah,
I used to be able to do.
they're both very hard, but like that back leg stretch in King Pigeon is pretty nuts. Yeah. Yeah. It's not exactly like the preliminary, but they're,
It makes sense.
yeah.
Create space.
Yeah. What else? So playfulness, creativity. Not sure if that's gonna work. All second chakra, all being like willing to flow, be creative, try new things, not black and white, grayscale. Actually, I don't even like to say grayscale, like rainbow scale. What else? Yeah, the mantra song. Om Namo. yeah. A lot of times if I play Sanskrit, I'll define it. Like I'll explain to them what it is. Sometimes if I have Zoomies, then I won't because they're not hearing the mantra. So it only works if I first repeat it to them. So if I'm like, you know, if let's say the song ended and then I was like, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, that's what we were just listening to, something like that. So then the Zoomies know, and then I'll say like, that means XYZ. Most teachers wouldn't do that and most teachers wouldn't know what the mantra is, but it is really like nice and empowering to explain what we're listening to, you know? So just as a thought for your own classes, if you're gonna play other languages, it's nice to know what they're saying. And if you're gonna play any language that anyone's gonna know, you better know what they're saying. Sanskrit's not gonna have dirty lyrics, but like Spanish might, and you won't know, and it might sound like this beautiful song and then it's actually very dirty. So you gotta check on that. If you're gonna play something in Spanish or French. One time I was playing a French song and I realized I did not know what the words were. Thank God when I looked it up, it like wasn't that bad, but it also wasn't that good. It was like really depressing. It wasn't like dirty or like really horrible, but I remember being like, this is not, if it was in English, I wouldn't have played it, let's just say. It was not like inspiring lyrics by any stretch of the imagination. And I was just thinking, I wonder if anyone in there spoke French.
Yeah, that would be a different mood.
You know? Yeah. So that's like good insight for yourself. Like know what the words are. You don't have to speak the language, but like just Google it in English, right? You can copy and paste into Translator. Also, usually if you type like whatever song in like English translation, you can, there's a lot of most popular songs you'd probably know have like a translation online. So another thing for second chakra was at the end, all the talk about water, right? Unobstructed flow. May every like step and every breath you took give you like access to free flowing energy, prana, life force, possibility. So you don't have to necessarily just talk like, okay, water, like it doesn't have to be obvious, I guess is what I mean. Like it can be a little more abstract too, bringing in themes of water, creativity. Like we didn't say second chakra at all, but yeah, we embodied it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, good. This isn't all you'll hear about it, but since we're talking about second chakra, and second chakra has to do with reproductive organs, some things to consider for pregnancy. Let's talk about that. Have you guys learned anything yet? Or do you have any ideas?
About
Pregnant,
Yeah. What to consider if they ask you what they should know or what they should do. Can you think of anything? You might have already heard some, but throw out some ideas.
Hip openers are great for pregnant women. And to be mindful about any binding and bending, because that's gonna be painful. I did a lot of yoga when I was pregnant, and it's a lot of opening up. Opening your chest because everything is getting shoved into your chest, opening your hips because your hips are opening to releasing the pressure. And just being like nothing folding in because you can't.
And this is all from your experience, huh?
Yeah. And my sister is pregnant now, and so I'm like, okay, remember, like you can sit down and like twist to the side to open this hip out, but you know, be mindful of your other side because you can punch it in and round ligament pain, how to like relieve the pressure.
Yeah. What else? Anybody else practice while they were pregnant who can share from experience? Or like have a friend or someone that did?
I'm not pregnant, but I have a belly and boobs. So I was actually gonna talk to you about it because there was like a pose that we were doing and my tits were like choking me. And I was like, what is the modification if you have like, if you're plus size, like you can't like, you know, bend over all the way, or if like you're getting choked by your breast, or like, you know, I would see stuff like that. I think props are my best friend. You know, I love bolsters. and blocks and stuff
Yeah.
like that to feel supported. And if I don't feel good in a pose, I just don't do it, or
Yeah.
I just adjust my body where it feels good.
What do you remember? What pose it was?
It was like we were on our back.
Can you
it was,
guys
like,
hear Michelle?
Bridge. Okay, we were like on our back, and then we were going into bridge. Not bridge.
Well, bridge is
yes.
definitely one.
Bridge,
Where
yes, we
anyone
were.
with boobs at all is gonna be
Yeah.
like, what?
Oh
the-"
yeah, we were like going. You said go on your shoulders, like press your shoulders into the floor. Yeah, and then lift your leg up. And I was like,
Can't breathe.
I can't breathe. Yeah.
Yeah, so most times anyone with boobs, when they get on their back, this is the experience they're having. Their boobs are coming up and they're like up here, you know? So there's not there's like a couple of things you can do that make a little bit of a shift. Like one, lift your chin, right? Just a little lift of the chin so that it's not like this. It's like, you know, a little that, so you have a little bit of space here. Another thing is, like actually what I was saying would have helped you, because if you can get your shoulders down away from you, you're going to pull all of this down away from your neck. Of course, you're still laying back, so gravity is still pushing everything, right?
Yeah.
And even if you have not huge boobs, it still can feel really choking, right? Even if they're just kind of like a little like mine, and then they're still up there and you're like, what the hell, you know?
They're annoying.
Yeah, I hear this all the time.
They're so annoying.
I hear it all the time, and especially like waterfall, shoulder stand like people with boobs are like, hells no. Melissa talks about this all the time too. Like her boobs are always choking her. I wish she was still here.
Yeah.
She has funny stories and modifications, but yeah, for sure.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
When I first started breastfeeding, like my boobs were like Barbie, and I couldn't even do child's pose because it felt suffocating. Like there's no space. And even with like knees wide, I'm like this, like I can't breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
that was the
relaxing.
thing. It was like hard to breathe in certain poses. But I know my body. I've been plus size all my life, so it's like I know where to make space. But I would love to learn like how to do that for other people, or if they feel comfortable. Like there was a girl next to me, and we were doing I don't know, airplane or standing. You know, it's like you're like you have
Half moon?
half moon, yeah. And she was really struggling. She looked like she was about to fall over. So I gave her my block, and then she was like she just looked pissed. I was like, I didn't mean to piss you off. I was just trying to help you, but it's, you know, but she was just like struggling hard. You know, like I think maybe it was her first class or something. So, you know, maybe there's ways you can like gently, like a little gentle reminder of like, hey, here's a block, but some people don't really want them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Or
people think the
support.
blocks are crutches, but actually
Yeah.
they're the opposite.
They're
Like
the
they give
best.
you so much space and freedom and the ability to twist and the ability to lift, and they make things harder sometimes, and like
Yeah.
they're actually the full opposite, but it's just what people, because whatever they view about the block is what they also view about similar type things in their life, like any type of support, right? And so they're just facing their life right there on the mat. So whatever it was for her,
Yeah.
same that she deals with every day. But that's where, like, as the teacher, it's really helpful to check your language, and it's not like use the block if you can't reach the floor.
Right.
It's like grab the block if you want more stability. Grab the block if you want to be able to reach higher. You know, stuff like that.
More encouraging.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
give them the benefit of it versus the like why you might need it.
Yeah.
Give them actually the results of it. A lot of teachers say, and even me, just because like things are happening so fast and you get like kind of like you just have to like get words out of your mouth. So you'll be like option to grab the block, but like no one, if they don't know what the block what that means, they're never gonna do it because they don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
So right, so if you really want to empower your students, you have to be specific and say like, everybody get the block, put it under your hand, put your hand on it hard, push and lift, right? And that would be like such a different thing than being like option to grab the block.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And the people who really don't want it, or who are like looking for something different experience, they're just not going to use it. but
Yeah.
everybody else will have been empowered because they're like, oh shit, that's what the block's for. Not because I can't reach the floor, it's actually so I can press into something and lift up higher and twist open deeper and get more space and more freedom and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's funny because whenever we do like yin or something relaxing, it's everybody wants a block and a bolster, and it's like it's like yin is pretty easygoing, but
Yeah.
you're doing something so much harder than something that can support you and help you, and you're like, oh, good.
Yeah,
But whatever, to each his own.
yeah.
Well, I'm definitely the person where I'm like, I don't want a block. My husband bought me blocks for Christmas and I was offended. It's straight up. I was like, I'm not gonna need these. Like,
Yeah.
I'm better than this. And I was like,
Right.
well, he didn't know. That's why he bought me blocks. He was very, very thoughtful. I appreciate it. But because
Yeah.
in one of our classes, you were like, there's a seated tree, grab your foot. You can grab your foot, put a block behind, grab the block. And I was like, oh, so the block actually made it harder for
Yeah.
me. And I want the challenge. And so now I'm like, okay, well, maybe the block can actually make other things like a little more challenging. Like I can do half moon more because of the block instead of just trying to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had to put it in the framework of it's not a crutch, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
I didn't really use the blocks before either. I mean, I wasn't quite as extreme as you, like piss off about but I always thought like, okay, I'm good in this pose, I can hold it, and if I can hold it, and then I'm doing pretty good. And then now I use the blocks and I love it because I can open up more and do more, you know?
Yeah, so, oh my god, look at my wet ass spot on the floor. Great. Awesome. Nothing's worse than when you like have something, you're like meeting somebody who didn't go to yoga after yoga and you like sit in the chair and you get up and you're like,
Such a Florida thing.
so yeah, so like that's how you have to access the people like both of them, right? Like the people who are like, blocks are a crutch. Like you have to give them the ways that they're actually a challenge, right? You reach further instead of just reaching here, reach here. And then ultimately, like that might be the window for somebody, you know, for them to get into it and then ultimately realize, okay, these are actually really great and use it for other things too. But I wanted to show you like, even the difference in half moon, let's say, so you have like no block, right? Just look at the alignment of my body and just observe, okay, everybody? Okay, now watch with block.
It just looks nicer.
Like how much better, how much more empowered, like how much more freedom, how much more, yeah, like I can twist
alignment
up,
Yeah.
everything.
Much nicer.
Yeah, so like how could you call the block a crutch in that case when you see that, you know? Has nothing to do with like whether or not I can reach the floor and everything to do with like aligning my spine and having the ability to reach up higher and turn open more. And another big one, just similar concept, is triangle. Let's see if I can. So, no block. You can see it even better like this. Hopefully my boobs don't fall out. Speaking of boobs. Okay, so no block, right? And okay, and like let's say the teacher's like, try to lean back or whatever, right? So that's about my extent with no block. Okay? Now, block, even just the space from my shoulder to my ear, right?
Just opens you up. Yeah.
And then teacher's like, okay, try to lean back. Okay, well, even just this,
Much further.
so much further, right?
Yeah.
And then if I do that,
Wow.
like how crazy. But if my hand was on the floor, there's no way because there's not enough space in my spine
Yeah.
to lean back. You guys see that?
There's more space in your neck.
Yeah. So it, to the point, it's like people think they're a crutch, but really they're like your greatest benefit for all
Your
things. They're your friend.
Hey, friend.
But they also make things harder in the sense of like squeezing, like this is so hard, right? Versus just
Right.
this. Squeezing between your legs for any pose. squeezing between your feet for core work,
Oh yeah.
stuff like that too. So
You made us do that in that strengthening class. You were like, we had to grab, oh my God, it was like from your feet to your knee to your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
really?
It was crazy. Yeah, you were
I don't
on
remember
something
that.
else. And I think it was the music. I think it was the music that was getting you going because you were like, are you ready to rumble? I was like, where are we? We would sing together.
What
yeah.
class is that?
It was the
Strength? Strength and stretch?
Right, the
Oh my
weights,
God.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was bananas.
Today.
It was today.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, that was
You
God.
have
the
so much
class I was in. I
energy. We were both looking at each other like,
couldn't- Like, we gotta do that.
we were like scared.
That's really funny.
But it was great. I like
That was happening today too.
Yeah, it was.
That's how Rihanna ended up in the pirate costume. Jess
I like
is
the music, yeah.
yeah. So Jess wrote in the chat, I went to a 90 hot yoga class today close to my sister's house and it was awful.
Oh,
It's funny how those topics come up. I love it. I realize, especially after hearing Danielle, that it's so important the type of language you use. Right, like empowering versus disempowering, even just with little things like that. And you can even like, just to go back to the boobs topic, because this really is so prevalent. So many people experience this. You can even say, like, just voice it. Like, if your boobs are choking you, do this, you know, like it's
Yeah.
not even weird to say that. It's because so many people are experiencing that. Like shoulder stand, even, you know, a lot of people want to try shoulder stand and then they get there and it's like just everything is coming to your throat and you just feel like you're choking. Like boobs, no boobs, belly, no belly, like no matter the situation, a lot of people have these type of experiences. So it's okay to bring voice to them in class. Jess also said like using supportive statements as opposed to only being like, well, the pose is this way and this way only. Like grab the block if you need it or like stuff like that, right? Good. All right, well, that went a different direction than the pregnancy thing, but but it was really good regardless. So let's see, just to close the loop on the pregnancy thing, and knowing that it kind of just goes for like, well, no, I don't want to say that it goes for even just like with having a belly or boobs or anything, because there are a couple of things you want to consider a little differently. But Trina made a really good point that there's like there's like three main things you want to consider. Well, first things first, you want to know, did your doctor clear you? So ask them that. Did your doctor clear you to do hot power yoga or whatever? A lot of the times, a pregnant woman isn't going to show up to hot power yoga for her first time while she's pregnant. It just doesn't really happen like that. It's usually like someone who's been coming all the time, then they got pregnant, and then they're like, are you going to kick me out because I'm pregnant? That literally happened last week. She asked me if I was going to give her the boot, and I was like, definitely not. But if they are brand new, like it might be because someone told them to do yoga and they have no idea that there's like 2 million different types. So in that case, I would say, have you ever done hot yoga before? And I would say you'd probably fare better with like yin or cool flow or happy hips. So I would say that. But yeah, so first questions first would be, are you cleared for, you know, exercise, fitness, stuff like that. And then the three like really main important components are your temperature and your blood pressure is changing and your center of gravity, right? So, but your temperature and your blood pressure. So hot is going to feel extra hot and upside down is going to feel extra upside down. So those are really important things. And so what I'll usually say is like, it's common to get more dizzy than you used to. Things are changing. So if you're upside down in down dog and you notice you're getting a little woozy or something, just child's pose, right? So that's like a big thing. Things are going to feel hotter. Things are going to feel a little dizzier. What book, Nicole?
So my mom got me this a long time ago. And like, for what it's worth, like I've never been pregnant and I don't have any intention of getting pregnant anytime soon, but it's this.
No, I haven't, but cool.
I totally forgot I had it until like I started looking through Teachable, and then I was like, wait a minute, like I think I have a book that actually talks about this. So it's like now in my little library of like things to get to that are extra.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, there's millions of, you can find, if you want to learn just like the face yoga, like you could probably find like a Udemy course or a Teachable course on yoga for pregnancy and get some like more in-depth stuff. But these are like the most basic things, right? So things will be hotter, things will be a little dizzier. So just be aware of those. That's what I would tell the person. And then the other two things are like, in the beginning stages, it's not so much a big deal, these two things, but as their belly gets bigger, it is a bigger deal to not squish the baby. So like Trina said, like the forward folds are really challenging. So you have to kind of like find stretch in different ways. But it's not because it's like dangerous or bad, it's just because it's really uncomfortable, right? So yeah, it's just like forward folds, laying on your belly, stuff like that. So you can tell them like, if we're doing things like locust, you get you get on your back and you do bridge, okay, like that.
Can you imagine?
That'd be so funny. They would just like go back and forth.
Lay on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bad.
Yeah, so that's one, and the other is twists. So Trina kind of mentioned the twist too. It's like whenever you're doing a closed twist, which is like this type, and this is closed versus open. Can you see the difference? Squeezing, compressing, hugging versus twisting. So it's like the lunge twist, this one is closed, water wheel is open. Got that? So you remove the compression component of it in your belly. So that's what I would say too, is like, don't do the closed twists. When they're smaller, like when it's like barely noticeable, it's not that it's like a bad thing, although if they're having like blood pressure issues, then they might, squeezing things, might make you just feel like weird, So anyway, point being, it's like make space for the baby. That's what I always say. Make space for the baby. Don't squish it. Don't twist it so hard. Do the open twist instead. And that's kind of like the very simple basics. Make sense?
I like that phrase. Don't squish the baby.
Don't squish the baby. Yeah. To that note though, these ideas are like kind of good ideas for your point. It's like, if you really want to like be inclusive, you can say things like, if your arm doesn't hook your leg, do the open twist. Like just super casual, because you know how many people's arm doesn't freaking hook their leg? Not like just certain types of people, but like all people. It just doesn't go. So you can say, like for chair twist, sometimes I'll say, hook your arm to the outside of your leg or between your two legs, like wherever you can get it, That's all that matters. And the only reason hooking the arm matters is because you want traction. And so then if you can't get it hooked anywhere, just do a twist. The twist is what really matters in the end. So you're getting some form of twist. So same thing as like, don't squish the baby. It's like, if you can't get your arm across your thigh or between your legs or whatever, just do an open twist. It's like not singling out any reasons why for anything either. Just like giving all the options for all the humans that are in your room.
Yeah.
A lot of people who do like weightlifting, weight training, like hardcore, or like more bodybuilder type or like CrossFit type competitors, have a lot of the same struggles that pregnant women and like curvier people will experience, because even though it's for like totally different reasons, like the tightness and the rigidity of their muscles that they've built. Same thing, like twisting will be really hard, bending forward will be really hard. Everything feels like rigid, you know? So same experience, different reason why. What else?
I like when we're doing like a pose and you're like, it's like not just, you don't focus on like just doing a pose. You're like, hey, if we're gonna do a twist, but focus on where your hips are going. If they're turning, direct them to the back of the room. And like, focus on like the things that actually probably brought most people to yoga, like hip pain and stuff like that. Because you're focusing on like, you're not focusing on like, does this pose look good? You're focusing on like, is my body aligned? Does this feel good for me? So it's like you're almost doing two things at once with your words when you're directing people.
Yeah, like caring more about the essence of the pose than like the way it looks, right?
Yeah, because another one of the girls that I was sitting next to, I actually know her. My friend does her hair, and she's one of those people who are like, what is the word? Okay, there's shuka, and then there's
Stira.
She's very stira, and so it was like challenging being next to her because she was doing those like knee to nose like really really fast, and so I was like, oh, I want to do it. But I was doing it at my pace, and she was doing it really fast, and you could tell like she was like almost doing her own thing, like because I guess she went through yoga training too, and so she was like, there was like one point where you're like, twist your foot to a different degree on the clock, and she was like, that's bad for your knees. I was like, oh my gosh. It's just stuff like that. It's funny how people like interpret your yoga, but like I feel like everybody has their own experience with it. Just like you have to go with what feels good for your body. It doesn't have to look a certain way as long as it feels maybe a little uncomfortable, but like not hurting.
Yeah. I think the worst thing that you can possibly do is think that there's only like one way to do a pose.
Yeah, my partner doesn't know how to breathe. He's very like, I'm always like, okay, like I'll practice with him, and he'll do like a twist, and I'm like, are you breathing? I don't hear you breathing. He's and he did it the other day.
He's like, guess not.
What's happening? You can't breathe. He's like, I don't know how to breathe. I was like, okay, let's focus on that first. But he's so like, he's like, I gotta do it this way. I'm like, no, just make it feel good for you. So we're working on that.
Yeah.
Together. But yeah, maybe because there's a huge, like, I don't know, when you go into a yoga class, you just kind of see a certain, like, sometimes you see a certain type of person.
Totally.
A certain type of body and being. And so you feel a little bit pressured to like, I gotta do these poses right.
Yeah.
But it's not so much about that.
Yeah.
Move to your body.
Yeah.
Feel good.
I think that's like the kind of like the important work that we're up to as like Warrior One trainees and Warrior One teachers and stuff, is like dismantling that stereotype, and that like we've always wanted to emphasize that there's like no one way that yoga should like look or be or feel. And it's why we always say it's like why we don't micromanage poses, because that comes from that same mentality that there's like one way that it should be done, and there's definitely things that are like not the best for your body, and those are like the things that we learn how to help people not do, you know, like don't do this and dip so low in chaturanga that you injure your shoulders, like stuff like that, right? And like we don't teach headstand and stuff like that because it's really like the benefits do not outweigh the risks, because you can get all the same benefits in handstand without putting all the pressure on your neck. So anyway, point is like dismantling the whatever, like, yeah, stigma and stereotype that has been put on yoga, which is so freaking hilarious because like the original yogis were not white, not women,
Not gorgeous white blonde women.
and yeah, and like only
There was no
skinny because they
Lululemon.
like didn't, you know, because they were like ascetics in the caves. Yeah,
Would they do it naked? Or like in a
who
little
knows?
bear skin?
Who knows? Yeah, that's kind of like what I have visualized and seen pictures, is like the little, you know, like the little handmade cloths and loincloths and things. And robes, you know, like a lot of robes too, traditionally, like almost like monk style. But yeah, it's just funny because like what it's kind of been turned into is pretty wild when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of like what we're about, is just dismantling that, not micromanaging people's poses, and honoring that like every single body experiences poses differently, and every set of circumstances that makes you who you are has you experience poses differently. Which actually, this is all like second and third chakra stuff, this whole conversation. It's cool. It's like self-expression, understanding the way we portray ourselves or something like that, like the way we show up in the world type of thing. This is all second and third. Third is next month, though we won't go there yet. Yeah. One more thing I wanted to say about pregnancy too that I forgot about in that moment was that there's a hormone that gets released called relaxin, funnily enough, that makes you stretchier. So that's another thing I'll mention too sometimes. And it's not, it doesn't come in like right away, but it does come in eventually because you need to be able to push the baby out in theory. So I always do say that too, like if it's, especially if it's their first pregnancy, because they won't even realize. And then I'll say like, you know, you might be a little more flexible than you're used to. Don't go too crazy.
Does that only release?
So that hormone's only released during pregnancy? I don't know, because I've never been pregnant before, so I don't know. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's something you produce during pregnancy.
And you don't go back.
What do you
So your
mean?
shoes don't fit. Bigger and they don't go back. And you might go back to the same weight, but your pants don't fit because your hips are wider. Your bones change.
Your bones change.
Everything
Oh my
changes.
gosh.
What if you're taking prenatals? Is that something that could happen if you're taking prenatals? So if somebody's like attempting to get pregnant, or no? Okay.
No, prenatals just give you enough vitamins so that the baby doesn't
I don't know if you can
steal
hear.
from you, because your
Yeah.
body is 100% make the baby survive. So like if you don't eat enough calcium, your teeth will fall out because the baby is gonna get enough calcium. You may not get enough calcium, but that baby is. Your hair may fall out because the baby's gonna get it. The number one priority for your body. And so you need to take all of these like folic acids and stuff to support the pregnancy so that you don't hurt afterwards and get osteoporosis. But in the third trimester is when you start getting all these extra hormones like relaxin, because your hips will open and you can feel it. It's wild.
So that's a third trimester thing then too.
So beautiful. I'm not having another baby, by the way. I took the whole very intense class to know exactly what was happening to my body, because I needed to be okay and like understand what was happening. And we did the whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, that was good. I'm done. It's good. Beautiful thing.
It's incredible. I mean, the body is insane. Like, what amazing things. Yeah. Cool. What else? Anything? So we did second chakra conversation last week. I didn't post the recording. Sorry about that. They are coming to my computer now, which I forgot, and then so normally they go to Vimeo or Zoom, and then Kim can upload them or whatever, but it's stuck on my desktop here, so I'll make sure to get that up from last week. What else? Okay. Let me think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about.
I have a question really quick. So I remember the other weekend, Kim mentioned we were going to be creating yoga cards. Is that something we can get started on now? And are they like poses that we have to like draw out? Because I know she said that I think we could, but I just wanted to kind of get a little more idea on that.
Yeah, so it's meant to be like flashcards that you create for yourself for your learning. And so the way most people end up doing them is like one pose and then information on the back related to it, so you like look at the pose and then flip it and be like, okay, these things like major muscles, major body actions. You might put like what chakra you think it goes with or it's good for, modifications, variations, adaptations, assist. No, we're not going to collect them or something. So.
Okay.
There is nothing to turn in, really. I mean, kind of, but not like that.
The questions for the books and stuff like that, posted on Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, questions for books, post on Facebook. And did those get assigned with small groups? The questions for the books, the readings?
Yeah.
That's with small groups, right?
No.
Okay, cool. You guys are the first ones to do the small group thing, so I wasn't sure if she tied that into small groups or not.
I think there's accountability in small groups to check.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Flashcards. Some people have made really cool flashcards in the past.
Actually, what's really helpful too is I have the coloring book that is specifically for yoga. Is it Kelly Soloway or something like that?
The yoga anatomy one?
Yeah, so basically, or even Crow, which of course that was in that one, where you can actually, color, which I think is great because you see exactly the ones that are being affected by all of the different poses. So, and then also explaining a little bit about it as well.
Yeah, I have that too. It's really good. The yoga coloring book.
I got that one too.
It's got like it shows you like the different muscles and stuff, and then you can color code it yourself. So like it'll be like crow, and it'll have like let's say like the 4 major muscles or something, and then you color in the bubble letters of one muscle, and then you color it on the body the same color, so you can like correlate that is that red one is that red one, and like that. It's really cool. It's a good book. I think yoga anatomy coloring book, something like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them too, actually.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on what you were talking about, which is actually quite funny, completely
What?
separate.
What was it?
About the people that the workouts. So, as a massage therapist working with a chiropractor inside a gym, there were these guys that would come in and they wanted to, they'd come in obviously and get the chiropractor, working and things like that, and they wanted to get the massage. And of course, they'd want to make sure that they were coming in and they were getting deep tissue. So
You can't even get into the tissues
the
because it's
appointment, who's the massage therapist? And of course it's me. And they're looking at me like, 5'1", and yeah, please.
So, you know, I get them in the room and whatever, and I'd start, and I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna start. I said, but, you know, and of course, I know exactly what's coming. Just let me know what the pressure's like for you, and, you know, we'll try and go as deep as we can. And I know that that's obviously not gonna be the case. So I would start in, and it was just very light pressure, and right away it was like, and I'd be like, are you okay there? And I've got, needless to say, I mean, I'm not like doing massive things there, but just, you know, I was very light with it. But yeah, they would just be like, oh no, it's fine. And obviously it wasn't. But bless them, you know, after a while, whether it was a male or a female, you know, afterwards at the end, they would just be like, that was amazing, thank you. But it's just funny. I'm not talking about myself, but I was just saying funny that, you know, people, especially even with yoga and things like that, the idea that, you know, they need to get into these positions and things like that and need to be getting to it right away.
Yeah.
That it doesn't always work with anybody really, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of takes away from just the you're supposed to be more low and kind of interested, and people get so rigid trying to just get in these poses kind of, is that well, yeah, well that, and also, you know, using the blocks for me as well. I've always just been like, you know, I guess that's where perfectionism comes in, to that point where it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get there, it's gonna be fine, and then you get there, and actually finally using the blocks does make a massive difference. And to actually experience it, you know, that's where the changes come in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you actually can like come closer to the perfect version of the pose using blocks.
Yeah, my friend Georgia never uses them, and I don't always either, but today I like saved her a spot and I set her up a block in the towel and she used it during class.
Oh yeah?
And I brought it up to her and she was like, I'll actually start using it.
Yep. And sometimes it's that simple too. It's just like someone would never grab it, but you putting it there gave them permission to use it.
And I think it really opens up that creativity though, not even to just say it's the perfectionism part, but, you know, just you're like, oh wow, you know, and having the ability to even try something like that and suddenly realize that you can really open up and what a difference it makes. So, you know, feeling that on a personal level as well as obviously, you know, speaking to students when they're going through those things and trying as well to see all the differences or feel all the differences.
Yeah. Blocks are pretty wild. Like, there's so much you can do with them that you don't even think about. Like, and I carry them through almost the entire practice, but even just like, even doing plank on blocks feels so different. You know, it's just a completely different experience. And then, you know, a little more space, but chaturanga is a totally different experience. Up dog is like a whole different planet compared to like this. Yeah, much bigger back bend. Even down dog on the blocks is interesting and different. They kind of move those, so it's a little scary, but and then you can work on like the squareness of your front leg with warrior. Like they can't see. Halfway lift, you can like test how flat your back is, you know, like balance poses. See how far can we go? You can test like.
You look like you're in reform school now.
You know. But like even just weird stuff like that you don't think of. Like I'll go through the entire practice and carry the block with me in everything and just try it for different stuff, you know? Even like this guy is fun. Something different, you know? Or a forward fold on a block. Crazy. You know. Obviously crow, we know. So we talk about this as like a way to help people with crow, but to be quite honest, it's scarier in my opinion. The savior in Crow, I think, is this one. You know? Just because the fear of falling on your face is so big. And people are terrified of that. They're afraid to break their nose, their cheeks, their teeth, you know? So to have that to stop you from falling on your face, that's what like a lot of people are scared of. But having it under your feet does give you the feeling of picking your feet up. So it can be helpful, but I think it's a little scary. The crow's scary in general, so. Yeah. More block stuff to come in the future. But we should do a whole like block shop.
For sure, yeah. You've been saying how they're like 3 different heights. Like sometimes you don't even think about that. You're like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah. I know. And then even like this is a unique height. And so is this. And so is this. So if you have 2, you got 6 heights. Oh wait. Oh my god, wait. You got more than 6. 12. 12. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Okay, this is.
It's getting too crazy,
Yeah.
but you got all the world at your fingertips with this situation. I always suggest these ones to people, by the way, just since we're talking about blocks, because the other ones don't hold me up for shit. I don't know about you guys, but the ones that are like not so dense, they fold and stuff, you know, and like your hand squishes into them and stuff. So these are nice. There's a lot of companies that these are Manduka brand. There's a lot of them where you can get the denser blocks. When I used to do stuff in Kenya a lot, we used wood, and those were so scary. They were so heavy and so solid, and like, oh god, I was always afraid of those things. Okay. Night.
Oh my god, splinters.
Yeah. They were kind of like finished, but they were still kind of janky because they were all like handmade, so it's questionable. Very scary. And they were so loud. Like, God forbid you did this. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Night, night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you to you.
Welcome.